Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dogs and cats, I am Josh Samuel, and ironically enough, earlier in the week I released a video on this particular subject. Now, for those of you that are unaware, the news was broke that actor and Twilight heartthrob Robert Pattinson will be the new portrayer of Bruce Wayne / Batman in Matt Reeves' upcoming movie, The Batman. Now, this is a very interesting choice. I know his name was thrown around as being a candidate earlier in the year. Nicholas Hoult has also been mentioned as well. Armie Hammer was heavily rumored, so much to the fact that most people were already calling him Batman. And for those of you that don't know, he was going to, Armie Hammer that is, was going to initially be playing Batman in George Miller's sadly abandoned Justice League Mortals film back in 2007. Shout out to George Miller, man. I'm a big fan of the Mad Max series. Shout out to him. But this is really crazy news. I know Robert Pattinson, females love him, adore him. The pale vampire who talks like he's from the 18th century. Let me kiss you under the sunlight while the dawn is whispering beneath your feet, or shit like that. Women love. So this is definitely gonna pull a big female audience come 2021, similarly to Aquaman. Shout out to Jason Momoa. But the thing about it is, a lot of people have in the past knocked Robert's acting ability, and I think for starters, the air needs to be cleared that Robert Pattinson is a very capable actor. I mean, have I seen the Twilight films? Unfortunately, yes, I have. But even beyond that, I've seen him in many other movies as well. Water for Elephants is one that comes to mind. Remember Me, that movie came out in 2010. That's a movie that I really started taking notice of Robert, and I was like, okay, he can act a bit. And then 2014 came about, and this movie, I'll never forget this movie, The Rover, came out. I was like, okay, let me check this out. It had Guy Pearce in it, shout out to him, and Robert Pattinson. And Robert Pattinson's performance in The Rover was absolutely phenomenal. That movie is heavily slept on. It's one of my favorite films. And then more recently, back in 2017, A24 released a film called Good Time, which also starred Pattinson. He was phenomenal in that as well. Make no mistake about it, Robert Pattinson is a very capable actor. Regardless of how you or I feel about the Twilight movies, this young man is a very capable actor. Now, there are still a lot of questions and a lot of question marks. A lot of things that are left uncertain. We do obviously know Matt Reeves will be directing the Batman still. It is on track to come out in 2021, June to be exact. It's set to either start filming, based on the reports, it's set to either start filming late this year or early next year, but obviously it'd probably have to be a case of sooner rather than later, especially if they're going to include like a rogues gallery and everything. I'd imagine, they're going to be putting the final pieces and touches together, man. But yeah, this is all really fascinating news. And what's really fascinating about this is that Robert Pattinson is actually starring in a movie with Denzel Washington's son, John David Washington, who just played in BlacKkKlansman. Shout out to Adam Driver, shout out to Spike Lee sometimes. He and John David will be starring in a movie that we know next to nothing about, other than the director of that movie is Christopher Nolan. This obviously puts to rest the rumors that this was secretly the Green Lantern movie. They're trying to make John David, John Stewart, and Robert Pattinson Hal Jordan. Whoop-de-woo. Robert Pattinson is our Batman. Now, from what we've been told, it hasn't necessarily been confirmed, and people gonna be, well, let me hit the dislike button. But he is the top pick and the front runner to play Batman. It's just that it didn't come directly from WB, which, given the fact that it's WB, is not a surprise at this point. Hashtag release the Snyder Cut. But anyway, Robert Pattinson, ladies and gentlemen, the Twilight heartthrob, the very capable actor, the very capable talent, is our Batman. That will be Batman in Matt Reeves' The Batman. And man, Rob is a very, very, very talented actor. Like I said, my recommendations for those that don't believe me, Good Time. Definitely check out The Rover, and I'd even throw Remember Me into the mix as well. I'm sure there's some I missed. I haven't personally seen The Lost City of Z with Charlie Hunnam. Shout out to him, but definitely check out The Rover. If there's one Robert Pattinson movie I would recommend, really two, it'd either be The Rover or Good Time. I mean, he was absolutely terrific. I mean, just beyond terrific. Well, there's again a lot of question marks. I mean, Rob is, in most of his films that the audience, us, have seen him in, he's a traditionally thin, but lanky, kind of lanky individual. So he definitely is going to have some bulking out to do, needless to say. But the guy's a multi-millionaire. He's in Hollywood. It won't take him long at all. And I'm very fascinated by this movie, man. I'm definitely curious to see what villains Matt Reeves chooses to go with. I know the Penguin has been heavily rumored, Riddler as well, and I'm curious to see what story he chooses to borrow from. I know Chris Nolan borrowed from The Long Halloween, going back to the Dark Knight trilogy. And yeah, man, I'm just really, really, really interested in this movie. I really, going back to my video that I'll leave a link to in the description, the whole state of the universe is kind of unclear, but sort of getting clearer at the moment. We just still don't know a whole lot. But initially Ben Affleck, shout out to him, grateful for his performances, Batman and Bruce Wayne. Initially he was going to be helming a Batman film, and it was going to also include Joe M's Slade Wilson, aka Deathstroke. But as most of us are aware, Ben Affleck announced that he will no longer be Batman. So, and Matt Reeves was wanting to go with a younger Batman in his film anyway. And it's been rumored as well that the movie is going to be set in the 90s. So that's another thing as well. But again, staying on Ben Affleck, wish him nothing but the absolute best. WB, at least give us The Accountant 2 or something like that, especially with Gavin O'Connor. What's most crazy to me about this is he was one of the farthest away from my mind as somebody that could be potentially cast as Bruce Wayne. And this guy Rob has been in some huge franchises. I mean, he mostly became known as Cedric Diggory in Harry Potter. Then he jumped from that to the Shakespearean Kiss Me Under the Shadows, Vampire, I'm So Beautiful, Twilight, Heartthrob, Twilight Saga. Then now he's in this enormous, taking on the role of a lifetime with Batman and Bruce Wayne. And of course, next year again, he's going to be starring in the movie that will be helmed by the legendary filmmaker Christopher Nolan. And this is all just really intriguing, man. I'm really intrigued, and I like that how vague Matt Reeves is being. He's letting some things be known, but I like how vague the details are surrounding the Batman. I know he said that the movie's going to be told squarely on his shoulders. It's going to be more emotional, noir driven, and there is going to be a rogues gallery. So I mean, it's still a lot to process, and God knows, not trying to diss anybody. I would have loved to have seen Ben Affleck's Batman film, but Matt Reeves, Robert Pattinson, that to me is a match made in heaven. Like, this guy Matt Reeves can direct the hell out of a movie. Robert Pattinson can act the hell out of a role. And I'm sure, again, he's going to put in the work in the gym. He's going to have to. And he can do an American accent, so that won't be an issue. So, I'm definitely, I like it. And I can't wait till we learn more, and I can't wait to see, Rob transform into this billionaire that we all know and love as the heroic Batman, aka Bruce Wayne, aka the Cape Crusader. And that'll be it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. It seems that Robert Pattinson is our Bruce Wayne / Batman, and he will be first seen in theaters as Bruce Wayne and Batman in 2021. Let me know what you guys think down below. Subscribe, comment, and like, and I'll see you all soon. Peace.